Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to the weekly DIY Scrapbuster series, where I try to show you each week how you can make something using your scraps within like 5 minutes. So today I want to show you how you can make a house, a little mini house, within 5 minutes. But I've made more than just one, but it only takes 5 minutes just to make one. So basically all I did was just gather up some scraps of different patterns and colors and shapes. Got some embellishments and printed out numbers and things like that, and just added these on together and created this little like a mini house journaling card. And that's what each one of these are. And you can make it as elaborate as you like or not elaborate. 2 of them I stitched, 2 of them I didn't stitch. And like I said, it's really easy, and it's a good way to use up your scraps, your solid scraps, pattern scraps, and all of that. And so really fun to make, really quick and easy to make. These go great with your journals, scrapbooks, whatever, you know, whatever you get ready to make, paper crafts. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you how I did this. Okay, so to get started, all you need, you're going to have some solid color scraps, and then you want to separate maybe some of designs and stuff on them, graphics, you know, just different pattern prints and things like that, because that's what's going to make it fun. And you can also use vellum. You can use for like the windows, vellum. You can use some what do you call it, like scraps of acetate or whatever, you know. There's different things you can do. And then on top of your solids and your prints, if you wanted to decorate it, it would help to have like maybe some words, some little cutouts and things like that. Maybe some leaves or, you know, things like that. Some buttons, stickers, you know, like butterflies, rub-on transfers, flowers, you know, bling, things like that, just to embellishments to decorate. So we're going to set these embellishments over here to the side first. And basically all we're going to do, since we're going to be making like tags, journal cards, just little mini things that, you know, embellishments and stuff like that, I'm going to start out no rhyme or reason. Whatever size it is the size that I'm going to use. So this right here, let me get my board out. This right here measures 3.5 by 8.5. So I'm just going to cut this down to 4.25 so that we'll have 2 little mini houses. So 4.25. And then you can choose your patterns, like what colors do you want, and you can just cut them down to any size or shape you want. Now for the roof, you know, you're going to need probably like a triangular shape. So what I'm going to do, and it doesn't have to be an exact triangular shape, so I'm just going to turn this like so. And yes, that is a triangular shape, but I'm not going to use one that big. So I need one that's at least the width of 3.5. So let's just cut this down to, let's see, 3.5. 3.5. Okay, so this is 3.5, and that's cute like that. Let me make sure I'm in frame. And then I can cut another one. Let me turn this like so. I'll just turn it like this. And now see how this one, it overlaps it a little bit, but this one overlaps it even more. That's fine too. But you got different, slightly different style shapes of like roof. So different size triangles. Okay, so now you need some windows and doors. And basically all you have to do is just, and they don't have to be even. The windows don't even have to be even on the thing. One can be wide, one can be skinny. So what I'm going to do, this right here, I'm just going to cut this in half. Right now it's like 1 inch. I'm just going to cut it down to a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to cut one of them. Well, one of them's a little bit bigger than a 1/2 inch, and then the next one I'm going to cut down to about 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut a couple of them like that because I'm going to make a few windows. So you can cut your shapes. Go ahead and cut your shapes down to whatever size you want them. And then you can start gluing them. I think it would be cute with one short and one tall for the windows. And then we need a door. Now, if you wanted to, and it's completely an option, you could, this right here is just a piece of an envelope. You could actually turn your door into like a journaling spot, you know. So I'm just gonna fold this over to where it's just a little bit shorter and skinnier than the door, because it's, you know, it's going to fit inside. And I'm just going to fold this a few times to make it in the shape of a book, and I'm going to cut it, or to where you have a few pages, you know. I'm not going to do both of them like that. I'll just do one of them like this. And then you can just take your scissors and cut it down. And now all you have to do is just glue this. Oops. You can glue it or staple it or however you want. Now these are in separate little sections, but you can just add them together the way you would a journal or your journal signatures, or when you're creating your journal signatures. Just put the pages together, and you can glue it or staple it. I might just staple it. Okay. It's going to go in like this. And yeah, like I said, I think I'm just going to staple it. And make sure I staple it from this way. So that the staple shows on the outside and not the inside. And then you've got you a journaling spot right there on your little house. And you can glue it down. And if you want to, you could glue another piece of paper to the back of this, or you don't have to, whichever you want. And it doesn't even have to be the same color. You can just put whatever there. You can just glue this part right here. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that. Just going to line that up and then cut down the rest of it. Just going to cut it down to the shape. And then you can glue that down. Now you can distress the edges if you like, or you can just leave them plain. I don't know what I want to do yet. So, and then you can garnish it. You can use some decorations. You can use some, you can put a word on there, you know, just whatever, no rhyme or reason. Okay, so we're going to be using some of these, and then we're going to need a chimney, and you don't have to, that's just optional. So we're just going to take some of this scrap paper. This is left over from a digital kit, and the chimney doesn't have to be perfectly the right a certain size or height, just as long as it's going to come up from behind the house or the roof. You know, you can make it as thin or as thick as you like. And then I'm just going to glue these together. Okay, so now I'm going to be using some of the clear or the acetate papers, and they show up better if they are behind white paper, especially if you're going to put it on a dark surface. So it's best to put it on like some white paper, and you could let it overlap, like, you know, let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to have some that'll kind of tall and then some that are short. So let's see, let me just glue this on here and show you what I'm talking about. Now this right here, I don't know if you can tell, it was from a printed page, so I'm just going to take that little piece off because I don't want that clear to show. And I'm just going to glue this on. And you can let it overlap, like have a, what do you call it? Offset, like going around it if you want, or you can just cut it to where it's the exact same size. It's up to you. But at least that way, when you put it on your house, it'll show. Okay, so like this has an offset, you know, going around the edge, the white, and then these don't. They just, it's just the exact shape of the rectangle. So we're going to use these as some windows on some of these. Okay, so in this situation, I'm going to double up the layers. In other words, I'm going to put some of this over top of here, just to give it a little more character. So this will go here, and then I'll start adding layers. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to find a piece of pattern paper that I think would look good with this. Okay, so now that everything's like glued together on the front, since this is going to be like a journal card, you don't want all that showing. So we're just going to glue. I found like a 12 by 12 solid piece of paper, and it doesn't have to be 12 by 12. You can use whatever size you want, whatever color you like. You could use coffee dyed paper, you can use whatever you want. And we're just going to glue this to this solid color so that when we cut it out, it'll be in the shape of the whole little house. And then we'll be pretty much done, and you can stitch around the edges or just leave it as is. But that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to cut each one of these out, and I probably will stitch around the edge, and I'll be right back. Okay, so they're pretty much done, and I stitched 2 of them, and in 2 of them I didn't stitch because something went way wrong with the sewing machine. So I'm probably just going to glue this down to some solid color paper and cut it out again. But this is what they look like. You know, they have different little words and bits and bobs, different die cuts, things like that, you know. And then this is what these 2 look like. You know, I added buttons. These were printed out words. And then just, this is a great way to use up your scraps, you know. And then you have your little journaling spot right here. So, same with this one, journaling spot. Just use little embellishments, die cuts, and different things like that to decorate it. So this is pretty much it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And each week I'll try to bring you some 5-minute little scrapaholics, or not scrapaholics, scrapbusters. So thanks for watching.